Staying in hotels and entire place Airbnbs can get expensive quick, which is why a lot of budget travelers are turning to hostels. But what is a hostel? Hey everyone, Troy from Flow Freely here, and today I'm going to be going over what exactly a hostel is, and also my top 5 tips to help your hostel experience be the best it can be. Alright, so let's get down to the basics. A hostel is a dorm. It's a shared room. You're sleeping with a bunch of other strangers. Not like sleeping with them, but sleeping next to them. And there's usually a bunk bed or two in there. I've seen some of them where it's just lined with bunk beds, but you'll most likely only be with a few other people. See, the thing with hostels is that all the common areas are shared. So you'll be showering with other people, you'll be cooking in the kitchen with other people, and you'll even be chilling in the living room with other people. So it's safe to say you'll make a few friends. So why would somebody subject themselves to that? Because it's cheap, yeah! As you could probably tell, hostels are pretty cheap. I'm talking pennies on the dollar compared to hotels and entire place Airbnbs. I published a post on my website about hostels, and you can find that link in the description. So basically, I break it down. I compare the cost of a hostel and put it against a hotel. The hostel for 1 week in Barcelona was $1,000 cheaper. That's $1,000 in 7 days. You could go on a whole second trip with $1,000. So that's all well and good, but how do you find and book hostels? So you got 3 options. You got Hostel World, you got Airbnb, and you can even use Booking.com surprisingly. I tend to stick with Airbnb and Hostel World just because they have more in-depth review systems so you can find out exactly what you're getting. Which we'll go over in a second because that is actually very important. And that's the perfect segue into my top 5 tips for staying in a hostel. Alright, so tip number 1, read the reviews. See, this is why I recommend Hostel World, because their review system is next to none. Guests can leave reviews for a multitude of different categories pertaining to the hostel. You've got things like cleanliness, or safety, or location to public transportation, all sorts of stuff, all the important stuff. Because remember, you're on vacation. You don't want to go to a hostel and it'd be like bed bugs everywhere, or like 30 minutes outside of town, or just a terrible experience. So that's why reading the reviews and checking the amenities to make sure they have exactly what you want and need. Tip number 2, get the bottom bunk. So like I said earlier, a lot of hostels have bunk beds in them. Most probably have bunk beds in them. And it's crucial to get the bottom bunk. I mean, who wants the top bunk? I mean, that was cool, when we were kids and the top bunk, you're the king of the world. But yeah, hostels, it's tough. It gets in the way, it makes your life more difficult. Just go for the bottom bunk. Because the people you're staying with, y'all are probably going to go out together, you're probably going to go get drinks. The last thing you want is to stumble up to the top bunk after just pounding Long Island's all night. And when you leave at the end of your trip, it's tough to get down in the middle of the night and wake everybody up. So just get the bottom bunk. Alright, so tip number 3, bring a good lock and a good day pack. So the lock is for the locker. Wow! Who would have thought? Yeah, most hostels will have lockers right in the room. And since you're staying with a bunch of strangers, I would assume that you would want to put your belongings in that locker and then lock it for safekeeping. You can also find if the hostel has lockers by checking the amenities section of Hostel World. And then of course you have a day pack. So a day pack is just a backpack that you wear during the day. Why it's called a day pack, I really don't know. But that's what they call it, so I'm not arguing, it's not my place. And so I recommend a day pack just to bring the essentials, your passport, your credit cards, anything of high value that you really can't lose, that you need. I'd recommend having that on you all the time. You don't want to leave that stuff with a bunch of strangers. Alright, tip number 4, pack before you leave. Don't be like me. See, the time I stayed in a hostel, I didn't pack before I left, and we went out drinking the night before, so bright and early in the morning, I still had to pack my whole suitcase with a headache and get to the airport, and it was just a mess. On top of that, you're staying with a bunch of strangers, and if you have to leave in the middle of the night, you don't want to be rustling around, packing a suitcase, waking everybody up. Just have it good to go, have it ready, so you get up, grab your suitcase, and get out the door. Alright, and finally tip number 5, have an open mind. See, for a lot of us, staying in hostels is way out of our comfort zone. I know personally it was for me because, sharing common areas, showering with other people, that was all new. But it was absolutely worth it. I had the time of my life. And not to mention the hundreds of dollars I saved. And I love money more than I love comfort. And that beautiful, beautiful. Because everyone else staying in the hostel is in the same boat as you. They're there, they're traveling, they're trying to save money, and they're looking to meet new people. So get out there and make some friends. And that wraps it up. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit subscribe, hit the bell button to get notifications when I upload more videos. Also leave a like and share this video with your friends, and I'll catch you guys next time.